You asked for it, and we did it. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 Disney scenes you didn't know were improvised. For this list, we're looking at both live-action and animated scenes where the actor or actors ad-libbed a line, lines, or entire scenes. We will be allowing Star Wars and Marvel properties this time around, even if they weren't part of Disney when they were originally made.
I can get through this. Oh, I'm a Sam! Shh, look at me! I can't even fly out of a window!
Number 10. New haircut. Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi. Few scenes in The Last Jedi were as fraught with tension as the meeting between Luke and Leia. The two siblings hadn't seen each other in years, and their reunion occurred in the 11th hour of one of the most dramatic intergalactic events in the history of the universe. So when Leia says this great line, it immediately broke the tension.
I know what you're gonna say. I changed my hair.
It's nice that way.
However, it turns out that the brilliant line was cooked up by Carrie Fisher herself. The line actually has a few layers to it, as it's both a callback to what Han Solo said to Leia during their meeting in The Force Awakens, and a nod to Leia's ever-changing hairstyle throughout the franchise. Number 9. Silver, Jim, and Morph. Treasure Planet. Easily one of the cutest characters in the Disney canon, Morph was a bottomless pit of comic relief throughout the events of Treasure Planet.
What is that thing?
He's a morph.
One scene that stands out involves Silver and Jim, voiced by Brian Murray and a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt respectively, who attempt to convince the little pink transfiguration machine to come along with them.
Morph, Morph, bring it here. Morph, come here.
Come here, boy.
Morph over here.
Come to your dad.
Come here, boy, Morph.
Well, as it turns out, the entire scene was improvised by Murray and Gordon-Levitt. It's moments like this that speak to the ad-libbing talent of voice actors, who've been called upon many a time to spice up or even entirely make over a scene on the spot.
Morphy!
Number 8. Meeting the Royal Family. Aladdin. Few scenes in the 2019 Aladdin remake were as hilarious or cringeworthy as this one. Aladdin's second meeting with Jasmine doesn't go quite as smoothly as his initial one, despite now being a full-fledged prince.
Tell him that we have gifts, please.
Oh, right! We have things. Gifts. Did you organize this?
After a parade of suitors attempt to win over the princess with lavish gifts and well-prepared speeches, Aladdin fumbles through an awkward tirade in which he offers her numerous jams and implies that she's for sale.
And what do you hope to buy with this expensive?
You.
While much of Aladdin was scripted, this entire scene was ad-libbed by Mina Massoud and Will Smith. Massoud later quipped that, quote, getting to improv with Will Smith was a dream come true, and that the scene in question was his favorite of the entire film.
Are you suggesting I'm for sale?
Of course. Not. No, of course not. No.
It's cold and it's dark.
Number 7. Jane's description of meeting Tarzan. Tarzan.
He didn't stand upright. He sort of crouched like that.
Ever wondered what the cost of improvising a scene in an animated film was? Well, we don't have exact dollar figures for you, but we can say that this particular scene took Tarzan's animators a whopping 7 weeks to bring to life. The scene in question involved Jane describing her first meeting with Tarzan to her father. In it, she draws a portrait of the vine-swinging ape-man and even hops on all fours to demonstrate how he walks.
Bends his elbows out like this, and then he walks like this.
Jane is soon joined in this position by her father, with the two of them hopping around the camp like little monkeys. It's quite obvious why this proved a difficult scene for the animators to whip up, but it was worth it.
This is capital. Oh, Janie Jean, what a discovery.
Number 6. Deciding what to bring. Aladdin. While Robin Williams and his godly improvisational talents undoubtedly stole the show in 1992's Aladdin, Gilbert Gottfried's Iago was a close second. The neurotic, abrasive, and often manic parrot proved to be one of the film's best sources of comedy.
Oh, there's a big surprise! That's an incredible... I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise!
In 2016, Gottfried admitted that he was given plenty of freedom in the ad-libbing department, and many of his best quips made it into the final product.
I can't take it anymore! If I gotta choke down on one more of those moldy, disgusting crackers... Bam!
For our money, one of his best ad-libs occurs when Iago is deciding which items to bring with him on his journey, leading to him debating whether or not to bring a framed photo of himself and Jafar.
And how about this picture? I don't know, I think I'm making a weird face in it.
Number 5. I Don't Wanna Go. Avengers Infinity War. One of the MCU's darkest moments, Peter Parker's death at the end of Avengers Infinity War was truly heartbreaking. It takes an A-list actor to sell a scene like that, and Tom Holland did not disappoint.
Start? I don't feel so good.
However, Holland wasn't reciting lines, he was making them up. Directors Joe and Anthony Russo provided their young star with just one piece of direction. Quote, "Listen, you're a kid and you don't want to go." Holland's interpretation of this line speaks to his abilities as an actor, as he was able to come up with something truly moving.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
This wasn't the first time Holland and Robert Downey Jr. shared an ad-lib, as the hilarious hug scene in Spider-Man Homecoming was also improvised.
That's not a hug, I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet.
Number 4. Samantha, Frozen 2. Buckle up because we have a trio of awesome Frozen ad-libs to show you. The first, and arguably the funniest of these moments, occurs in Frozen 2, when Olaf is searching for his friends. He starts calling out their names before inexplicably calling out for Samantha as well. This line and the one immediately following it were made up by Olaf voice actor Josh Gad.
Ben? Samantha? I don't even know it's Samantha.
This wasn't the first time Gad allowed his creative juices to flow, as he also came up with the "I've been impaled" scene from the first film.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
Finally, we got to give a shout out to Kristen Bell, who improvised her character's catchphrase.
I'm awkward. You're gorgeous. Wait, what?
Number 3. Buzz's Breakdown. Toy Story. In the original Toy Story, much is made about Buzz Lightyear's ability to fly. However, at the midpoint of the film, Buzz finally realizes that perhaps he was just falling with style after all. This does not go over well for the Space Ranger, who suffers a full-on mental breakdown in Hannah's bedroom.
Gone! It's all gone. All of it's gone. Bye-bye. Woo, see ya.
Woody finds him sipping tea with a couple of headless dolls while dressed in a flowery hat and pink apron. While he's eventually able to get Buzz on the move, the latter isn't quite ready to move on and launches into a truly depressing tirade.
Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. Snap out of it, Buzz!
This was entirely made up by voice actor Tim Allen, and was quite effective in making the audience feel Buzz's pain in a way that is still totally hilarious.
Come on, this way. Years of academy training wasted.
Number 2. I Know. Star Wars Episode 5: The Empire Strikes Back. Leave it to Harrison Ford to come up with one of the most iconic lines in not just Star Wars history, but cinematic history as well.
The princess. You have to take care of her.
The scene was originally supposed to play out like this. Leia says, "I love you. I couldn't tell you before, but it's true." To which Han replies, "Just remember that, 'cause I'll be back." Is it the best line in cinematic history? No, but it ain't half bad either. Ford had some reservations about the scene, and suggested to director Irvin Kershner that his character simply say "I know" after Leia says "I love you."
I love you.
I know.
It was a bold move, but one that definitely paid off. Okay, if I can ad-lib a character as instantly iconic as Mrs. Nesbit in my lifetime, I will have peaked. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first?
Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
I'm sorry, did you say Jarvis has been running it since I hit the bridge? In a few hours, I'll know every dirty secret S.H.I.E.L.D. has ever tried to hide. Blueberry?
Father?
Oh, shit.
My son Thor has returned.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. I am Iron Man. Iron Man. The line that kicked off the most successful movie franchise in history almost never happened.
It is one thing to question the official story, and another thing entirely to make wild accusations or insinuate that I'm a superhero.
I never said you were a superhero.
Producer Kevin Feige had originally planned to have Tony Stark retain his secret identity at the end of the film, staying true to the character's comic book origins. However, when Robert Downey Jr. ad-libbed the now famous line, Feige loved it.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
He later remarked that the line's success, quote, inspired us to go further in trusting ourselves to find balance of staying true to the comics and the spirit of the comics, but not being afraid to adapt and evolve. The line would later be used in the climax of Avengers Endgame, bringing things full circle for Stark, RDJ, and the franchise as a whole.
And I am Iron Man.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.